celebration of your life and a praise and honor to the Lord for the great things He has done. Your memory captures our hearts. You dedicated much of yourself and time to your family and serving others. Thanks so much for teaching us about Christ by loving us and loving others unconditionally. Love, Caroline.
Evelyn's cousin. My sister was Vivian, and when Evelyn was a student at Trinity Lutheran School, her mom gave a lot of parties for her and her classmates. Most were birthday parties, and her cousins were always included. At slumber parties, we played games. Her mom always had homemade cake and ice cream. Yum! When Evelyn went to Emmanuel School, all of her parties were with the Walther leaders. Evelyn was a pretty little girl, and I always remember her pretty curly hair. She was easy to love. Polly.
I remember when each year Mima and Papa would take us out on a boat tour of the Houston Ship Channel. That was the only time of the year that we ever got to have a Coke, so we really enjoyed that. And most recently, I remember when I saw Mima at the hospital for the last time. She at least came too long enough to tell me that she loved me.
Evelyn and I were friends for some 67 years or more. She was such a sweet, loving, and kind person to always be around. We both worked at the Houston Post newspaper, and our dads were back to back, so she had to look at me every day, but she didn't seem to mind. And I look back now and know it was God's will who brought us together. Because one day I just happened to mention I was looking for a room to rent. So a few days later, she asked me if I'd like to share a room with her, which I gladly accepted. So Evelyn, since she had no brothers or sisters, she began to call me her little sister, even though she was only 3 months older than me. And we went to church and did all kinds of things together. Then one day she found her true love, Adam Sr. She asked me to be one of her bridesmaids. October the 4th, 1946, she and Adam Sr. were married. Then when Adam Jr. was born, she taught him to call me Aunt Helen, and that was an honor.
And Evelyn, you will always be missed. What a pleasure it was to grow up with you for my aunt, even if it was an adopted aunt. You were such a good sister to my mother. The two of you growing up with no siblings, and then just latching onto each other, and just kind of raising the four of us all together. And then also just babysitting the next generation as well, our children. I remember the times when you used to take us to the skating rink, and Mom didn't drive, and so you would always include Sheila and I with Adam and Caroline, and we would just go places and do things. You were just like the best aunt there ever could have been, always. And it's because we had so much love and so much caring.
When my brother David and I were children, we have fond memories of spending time during the summer with my grandma. Every summer, my grandma and Papa would take us for a day trip to Galveston, and we would spend much of the day at the beach, and even though my grandma never put a swimsuit on, she would take us into the ocean's waves with all her clothes on. After the beach, she always took us on the ferry and let us wander around in the gift shops. Summers were always a special time with my grandma.
Ristau and I joined our hands and hearts in 1993 when we became friends in establishing spiritual fellowship recovery groups in Houston. Evelyn and I met when I moved here from California, and we both felt moved to work together. Evelyn would call me most days, and we would listen to and care for each other. We started meetings and reached out to others. We started an annual spiritual retreat at Holy Name Retreat Center. The first year on retreat, Evelyn and I co-directed the retreatants and rang the bells to call people to meetings and meals. What fun we had. Evelyn was 70 when I met her. I saw her face many medical challenges and losses in herself and her family and her community. She always stayed positive, trusting God is in control. She loved her Lutheran church community in the Heights and really enjoyed Bible study and church socials. Her family came first to Evelyn, and she was proud of them and found great joy in them. Evelyn leaves us a legacy of caring, loving, and trusting in God. She also leaves us a model of how to stay involved with the goodness in living and the importance of prayer in all things. We miss you, Evelyn. God blessing, Godspeed.
Jesus is coming soon, morning or night or noon. Many will meet their doom. Trumpets will surely sound. All of the dead shall rise. Righteous meet in the sky. Going where no one dies. Heavenward bound. Troubles will soon be o'er. Happy forevermore. When we meet on that shore, free from all care, rising up in the sky, telling this world goodbye. Homeward we then will fly, glory to share. Jesus is coming soon, morning or night or noon. Many will meet their doom. Trumpets will surely sound. All of the dead shall rise. Righteous meet in the skies. Going where no one dies. Heavenward bound. Heavenward bound.
I remember when each year Mima and Papa would take us out on a boat tour of the Houston Ship Channel. That was the only time of the year that we ever got to have a Coke, so we really enjoyed that. And most recently, I remember when I saw Mima at the hospital for the last time. She at least came too long enough to tell me that she loved me. So.